Tell us a bit about how you got involved in brain tumour research and what the collaboration within Sue's name means to you.
Yes, so I've been working in brain tumor research since many years now. I guess everything started when I was a student, a medical doctor student back in Italy at the time, and I got interested in neuroscience to begin with, and then I guess how is it often the case, you met people that really change what you want to do, and in my case was a very inspirational neuroscientist that was interested in brain tumors. And he was also diagnosing these brain tumors on a daily basis under the microscopes, and I guess I really found it very interesting. And at the time, it was very descriptive type of science, was just observing cells, but it got me into the field, and from then on I've been moving together with the field more and more toward trying to understand not only observing the cells, but really try to understand how these cells grow, maintain themselves, and this is what we are still doing today.
So in simple terms, for the benefit of people who are watching this,
yeah.
What makes brain cancer research different from any other type of cancer research?
Well, it's a very complex issue. Let's put it this way. First of all, there are very many types of brain tumors, over 130. So the complexity of the brain means that many different cells can give rise to different tumors. So we can't study brain tumors, we have to study these very many tumors that are very different. So that's certainly an aspect. Then it is a very changing disease. It recurs, and when it recurs, it's different from the original tumor. So we need really to understand how the tumor maintain themselves and also what changes during the process. Also, some of these changes we may be inducing by attempting to treat the patients, and it's important that we understand how we could do that better. And additional to that, of course, the brain is very peculiar as an organ, and it is also difficult to resect part of it. This is not the same if you're talking about liver cancer, for example. A liver, you can resect big part of it, will regenerate the normal one. That won't happen in the brain. So this limits a little bit what we can do to treat these tumors.
And do brain cancers discriminate between genders, ages, or can they hit anybody at any time?
In that sense, it's very democratic because it can hit anybody at any time, although there are populations, groups that are more affected for particular type of brain cancer. For example, the glioblastoma, which is one of the most aggressive high-grade glioma, affects mainly adults. But then medulloblastoma, for example, which is another type of brain cancer, mainly children. So in that sense, we have to be aware of different symptoms that can occur in different ages, but anybody can be affected by a brain tumor at some point.
And very briefly, what difference will it make if people donate to the charity and get involved in the charity?
That will make a huge difference, because the problem with brain cancer is that it's relatively rare. When it's struck, it's really very, very, it's a very difficult to treat. But there are, in comparison with other cancer, fewer people affected. They are younger people sometimes. So it's a devastating disease, but fewer people. So that this has been linked to lack of funding for many years, probably comprehensively so. But at the same time, this has led to the field being stagnating in terms of research. So now it's different, though, from the last 5 to 10 years that I've been here at Blizard, and for many years collaborating with brain tumor research. We've seen this changing, and I think charities are playing an essential role in just filling that gap. We have to have enough funding to be ambitious with our church, to find the right angle, the new angle to approach these tumors. And then we will also be able to engage also with major stakeholders when we have proof of principle. And I think this is where the charities really make the difference, to allow us to achieve a solid proof of principle, to engage then research councils and pharmas and really make a step change in this disease.